Hello and welcome to my review of Harley Quinn number 73, an issue written by Sam Humphries with art by Sammy Basri. We got the Sammys in the house, and I have not liked Sam Humphries, Harley Quinn. Really, let's get to. I don't really like Sam Humphries that much, but hey, I don't know him. Maybe he's a sweetheart. But you end up with this story going on, coming out of Harley's mom dying. And then you end up where Harley has to get away. She goes to California, gets involved in wrestling, and then supposedly her best friend, Alicia, ends up getting murdered, but they claim it's a suicide. You end up having this jade feather medallion that's supposed to have powers. That's disappeared. Oh, my goodness. Let's follow the clues. And you've ended up going back and forth with just nonsense. And it's one of those things that Sam Humphries tries to make this book something bigger at times. And then he thinks he's funny. He's doing neither. But you end up having, and I want everybody to just sit there while I'm talking about this. I'm probably losing my mind. You'll just think in your mind, what is a 10 out of 10 comic? What's a perfect comic? What are some of the best comics you've read? And we'll get back to that by the end. But you end up where the clues, again, air quotes, have led Harley to Jonathan Whittleson, the real estate developer who Harley has gone, pretended was a maid, ends up taking out, possibly killing a bunch of guys, his guys around him. And he's like, hey, Harley, what's going on? I was meaning to call you. I love you. I think you're the greatest. See, he's the money man behind the wrestling. He wants her more involved with all this nonsense. And she's like, hey, I'm going to kill you because you ended up killing Alicia. And he says, oh, no, that it wasn't a murder. She committed suicide. I can prove it. What do you say? We both get a refill. So, and this is the back and forth with this that is nonsense. So again, you are going back to it was a suicide, which, fun is what that is. A suicide. So they start walking because he has evidence. But instead of just going to the evidence, Sam Humphries has to give us his social commentary about gentrification and how real estate moguls end up buying up cheap, affordable housing, tear it down to make expensive housing. This is not, a mind-blowing thing. Yeah, it's not great, but this isn't like you're revealing some deep, dark secret here. Plus, you're talking to Harley, who is from New York City, where this has been a thing, and she just seems, oh, my God. Is this Whittleson or is it Captain Obvious? I mean, seriously. So this whole idea, but again, that's just thrown in. That's just there to be there. Like all of a sudden it hits Sam Humphries. Oh my God. You know what I don't like when they buy up. Oh God. So you end up where they finally do get to Whittleson's office where he's telling jokes here. Listen, Harley, she killed herself. It's fun. Yeah, just say it yourself. It's so much fun when you say it. No, it's murder. Nope. It's suicide. And so Harley says, then where is the jade feather? And this is the medallion that had superpowers that we never really found out about that you ended up having Alicia have and wrestle with. Now, just imagine this. They are saying that Alicia committed suicide. She was found dead in the locker room of the wrestling deal. There is a chance, Harley, that somebody could have stolen the jade feather. Now, piece of crap comes in and Alicia has killed herself. Boom, 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 pick a pocket. You even hear about this with ambulance drivers. They're, picking pockets of that. This is nonsense. This doesn't mean because something is missing from her does not mean that she didn't commit suicide or it wasn't. Nothing. That's a different investigation. Well, you end up having Whittleson say, I have proof. I'm sorry. This is how it was because my boys pulled something from the mail. Again, what? So your boys stole mail? I don't understand this. My boys pulled something from the mail. And then pulls out a letter. Now, first off, Harley, see if this letter has a stamp on it. See who it was addressed to, because it should have been addressed to Becca, Alicia's daughter. But it was pulled out of the mail by his boys? I don't get it. So he ends up saying, you'll recognize the handwriting. So there you go. We don't know Alicia. People who are reading this book, and I have read all the issues, we didn't really know Alicia. We saw her wrestle a couple pages, and then she was dead. We don't know the idea of how she would write something. Now, again, I don't even know if Harley, how she would recognize the handwriting. I wouldn't recognize my kid's handwriting. But it says, Dear Becca, sorry, killed myself. You'll have a better life. See ya. Smell you later, sucker. And I wish it said, I love you forever, Becca's mom. That would have been the best. That would have been so good. Well, there you go. It's solved. Alicia committed suicide. One of the funniest plot devices you could ever have in a comic. And just to make it more fun, Harley goes back to tell Becca. Becca, who freaks out, says, no, this can't be. I mean, look at this scene. This isn't a Harley book. I can't believe it. My mom committed suicide. Oh, Harley, you promised. Oh, my God, you're the worst. Your conspiracy theories. I'm out of here. Slams the door. Now, Harley goes from this and continues like, oh, well, cheer up, Harles. You just had a girl whose mom, in your mind and her mind and this letter, committed suicide and has run out. And Harley just decides to get drunk and go make out with Booster Gold, who is now the football coach of the Hawks, go Hawks, of the Hollywood Academy. And she's, there, Booster, let's make out. I'm the greatest maker outer ever. Booster, who wants to be a good friend, says, no. You're drunk. Plus, what would Blue Beetle say, right? And so he does not do this. Harley ends up, oh, you idiot, I think I'm falling for you. Oh, my God, this is gross. This is all happening after she gave a suicide note to her supposed best friend's daughter who ran out of the apartment. And so then you go to Charity XO, the crazy narrator, the hopers and dreamers she is of this whole stupid nonsense. And she's there with her mumbo jumbo that means nothing, starts doing, and it's just, there you go. Oh, he mentioned the authority. A starfish? Oh, does he mean Starro? Oh my God, he's so deep cut. And then the basic thing of, you're a double sign, the Amazon and the detective. Harley comes in, says, hey, I need help. You mean read minds and stuff? No, that's not what I do. But I'll give you my mumbo jumbo. You're the Amazon that dives into the detective, and you're in the darkness, and you stand alone for no baloney. She doesn't stand for baloney. So you end up Harley saying, all right, so what you're saying is I should punch somebody. I don't know. Not my powers. All right. I'm going to go back to that wrestling that I ended up not only quitting, but going on the mic a couple nights ago and pretty much proclaiming everybody pieces of crap. And the manager or the whole MC of the whole deal, Babyface, was a murderer. I'll just go back because, I want to fight a Nazi. I'm going to go fight a Nazi wrestler. Shepherd the Ubermensch. All right, this is awesome. This is fun, right? Suicide, Nazi wrestlers. Oh, my goodness. So you end up having Shepherd the Ubermensch. Hey, you're going to fight Harleen the Queen. Here we go. And they're booing. They're booing, possibly Shepherd the Ubermensch. Maybe Harley because she was, talking trash before. But it is for Shepherd. So Shepherd's getting booed. And this is the joke, folks. Hey, Shepherd. Are they booing you, or are they shouting Ubermensch is a disgusto dumpster dump? Now, first off, they're booing, and these are the jokes. I mean, are they saying boo or boo earns? Again, Nazi wrestler. So they start fighting, and Harley realizes, oh, my God, you have the jade feather. Now, again, we'll go back to the concept of a woman commits suicide, in a funny way, and is laying in a wrestling locker room, and somebody goes and sees, oh my God, she has a super-powered medallion. It's not out of the question they will snatch this. Just because he has that doesn't mean that Alicia wasn't murdered. It's just that, you get this, the Nazi's a piece of crap. Oh my. So she says, oh no, I was right all along. Ha ha, you really screwed up now, buddy. And just starts beating the living crap out of the Nazi, saying, who was it who did this? And you end up starting with, well, Babyface paid me to, but there's somebody else behind there, a woman. And Harley says, you better give me her name. And he's like, I can't. She's going to get here. Oh, my God, I'll tell you. I'm not going to reveal who it was. I don't want to spoil who it was. Well, you know what? I don't want anybody to buy this. It's Granny Goodness. Granny Goodness, people. And that ties into the beginning of Sam Humphrey's run, but nothing else. And so you'll have all this. It'll all be a dream or some nonsense. So the end of this, I gave it a 3.5, 3.5 out of 10. And that is probably 6 points for the art. I love Sammy Basri's art. The story's a negative. Anytime you're going to use suicide as a trope, suicide as a prop, and then end up thinking that you're having some fun, suicide, Nazis, real estate and jerk offs. I mean, this is just a grand old time. And we're going to go back to the idea of the perfect comic. What is your perfect comic? Some people, I like some of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Well, I like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Whatever you may think is perfect. Harley Quinn 73, does that roll off your tongue with those? Because here is the comic book roundup, and I have ended up, blacking out the people whose names and sites. Yeah, look at that. Look at up there. User review 3.6, critical review 7.8, and there's the reviewer for the people down there 3.5. I just want to pat myself on the back, but you have a perfect score here. You have all these scores. It goes 10, 8, 9, 8, 5, 8, 8, then down to me 3.5. Most of the people who were reviewing this bad, they bailed. They've had enough of this crap. And so you end up with these. Do they want to get invited to Sam Humphrey's tea party or something? Because we're not allowed to have tea parties right now. This COVID has ruined all the DC Comics tea parties. So actually review something. And yeah, maybe these people think that it is great. I can't really say it. They're wrong, but that's the whole deal. And just this 10. The 10 out of 10. Now, I didn't even mention this book is canceled. It's going to end in August. We have 2 more issues. The 75, which will end it, is a roast issue, so that won't involve all this. So we have 1 more issue of this nonsense story. And here, 10 out of 10. When Harley Quinn number 73 wraps up, it's a 1-2 punch of emotion and surprise. Really? I thought it was of grimaces and pain. Where the story goes from here, I can't possibly imagine. But as long as Humphreys and company keep putting out this level of quality, 2 more issues. I am along for the ride. So, guys, I'm along for the ride till August when it gets canceled. All righty. And it will go down. You'll have these quotes on these trades. And it's all, you have to remember, people, when you're doing this and you're reviewing these things, you are going to end up duping people down the line. Somebody's going to see a trade. They gave it a 10 out of 10. I mean, this must be the greatest thing ever. And I looked, there is not an issue of Sam Humphrey's run of Harley that hasn't gotten at least 1 perfect score. And who is sitting there in the malt shop right now going through a list of the best comics of all time and listing Harley Quinn number, 43? Nobody. It's not good. And it's frustrating. But hey, let's end on a positive note. Hey, if you like this video, you can subscribe. Also like it, all that stuff. Comment if you like this, and you can convince me maybe I'll be a brighter and happier person afterwards. But you're gonna have to convince me that the idea of suicide is a fun time. I know suicide is painless, they said, as the theme from MASH, but yeah, it's not funny. And so yeah, do all that. Look at the notes down below. There's a bunch of links. We have our websites, DC and Marvel. We have our podcast, DC and Marvel, all of that stuff. I'm tired now. I'm going to bed. But thanks everybody for listening, and I'll talk to you later.